Hey everyone, it's Joe, the 50-something Dasher, with a video here. This is going to be a really interesting story. So, you're probably already aware, or you may not be aware, that this past Thursday, it started at 8:15 in the morning Eastern Time. There was a nationwide outage or like cell phone service for AT&T customers. I actually use Cricket. Is who our provider is, but they go through AT&T towers. So anyway, I thought I would do a separate video with the story of like what happened to me during that outage and basically what I did, how I handled the situation, all of the confusion, the nightmare that it was. So far, it's just been like an hour or so since everything got settled. So far, no real negative consequences, contract violation, anything along those lines. So I should be good, but I've got all my documentation here just in case. You always want to do that. But this is the order in question. So 7:39 a.m. on Thursday, I get this $22 Meijer order. Okay, so I head to Meijer, I shop the order. Next screenshot here is when I finished the order. It took me less than 12 minutes to shop. I was done at 8:12 in the morning. Okay, so approximate, and then I get out to the car, load stuff up, and then right at that time is when this outage started. And so all of a sudden, now here's this next screenshot is from a few minutes later. This is as I'm trying to figure out what's going on. But as I close down the Doordash app, open it back up, and just a blank white screen, and this SOS at the top right corner. Haven't seen that before. Have no idea what that means or anything. When I first started to got everything loaded in the car and was gonna start to drive away, and it looked like GPS was working. And even though I saw this SOS signal, but I knew something was wrong. And I saw from the parking lot, I saw on the GPS multiple different route. There should only be one route that it wants you to travel in, but I saw multiple different blue lines. And so I knew, and messages that I didn't have an internet connection. So I didn't want to start driving away until I knew what was going on here. So I tried to shut down the app, and I couldn't, and then brought it back up. And then now I can't use the app at all. So I completely offline. I couldn't call anybody or couldn't use my phone at all. Now, before I knew what was going on, I thought that maybe this was just my account. So my first instinct was to come home. My wife was home. So I wanted to see if her phone was down too, if there, we're current on our bill. Our phone service shouldn't have been shut off, but maybe it was. So I decided to make my way home, and that's when I discovered that it was a nationwide outage, and now I was able to use the internet on my phone and bring back up the Doordash app because I was able to tap into my home Wi-Fi. Which I guess I could have stayed at Meijer and done all that, but I didn't know what was going on. That's why I came home. So I connected to the Wi-Fi. And then a lot of Dashers in this situation, they're like, well, and this delivery was going out of zone. Okay, so I'm sure there's a lot of Dashers that would have been like, well, there's like a nationwide outage. I'm just going to have to cancel this order. I mean, I can't get there without GPS or, this isn't my fault, this outage or whatever. My brain doesn't work like that. My first concern was I got this order in the trunk of my car, and I don't care if there's an outage or not. If there's any way possible, I want to deliver this order to this customer. So pardon me for trying to do the right thing here, but that's what I wanted to do. So I messaged the customer. And this was at 8:41 in the morning after 8:15 the power or the outage starts. I come home, talk to my wife. We're trying to make I tried to call Doordash support. I couldn't, trying to figure out what to do. My wife was able to call like her sister, but I wasn't able to make any phone calls at all. I don't know why she was able to make a phone call, but I couldn't. Assessing the situation, finally, okay, so at 8:41, I messaged the customer. Hello, this is Joe, your Dasher. As soon as I left Meyer, that's misspelled. I was using the voice to text. There was a nationwide outage for AT&T users. I had to come home and get directions to your address, and will be leaving now to deliver your order without the abilities of GPS. I'll be there as soon as I can. Sorry for the delay. Okay, so I traveled back in time to 1992 when if I was going to have to travel someplace that I hadn't been to before, where I wrote down, literally this sheet of paper, wrote down physical directions. So I got on the internet, Google Maps, typed in the customer's address, and hand wrote the roads I needed to turn on, how many miles I'd be on each road. And so I was doing everything by pen and paper here, not GPS. So I get all the directions, written, get out to my car, start heading to the customer. The rest of this here, I didn't see until after I didn't have, obviously, use of my phone. So I didn't see the rest of these messages until after everything was done and over with. So 8 minutes later, after I sent that, the customer says, "It's okay. Thank you so much." Okay, so they seem to be kind of understanding here. And then at 9:06, and this is literally just 2 minutes before I pull up and deliver this. Again, I don't see this message at the time, obviously. The customer says, "Are you on the way? If not, I'm going to just cancel the order." And this was like wrong on multiple levels here. First of all, I told you already that there was a nationwide outage on phone service here, and I'm doing things like 1987 style with pen and paper and the directions, leaving from my home to deliver the order without GPS. That's just wrong. And they seem to be understanding at first, and then now they're not. I just that's the worst thing about. I mean, I really enjoy driving for Doordash and doing these deliveries and everything, and by far the worst part of this job is some of these customers that you're delivering to. Just and I'll just leave it at that. I'll shut up and I'll leave it at that. Then I send. Then this was then of course I don't have any use of the app or whatever. So I take I've talked about this in some of my videos in the past where I talk about tips and tricks. I took a picture on my phone, just using and going into the photos in my camera roll. I can't use the app. But I can still take my picture to save for when I get a phone service again. So I take my picture and drive away. I knew the customer, I was going to knock on the door, even though I wasn't supposed to, because of the whole situation and everything. What if they, by all this time that passed, what if they did cancel the order and reordered it, or I don't know. So I was going to kind of touch base with the customer, but I saw the door kind of like crack and then close again as I was approaching so I knew that they knew I was there. So I just dropped the order off, took my picture. And then, so the picture you see in this screenshot and the message I said, could not close out this order until I got back to zone to connect to Wi-Fi. Sorry again for the inconvenience. Have a good day. You know, wish I could have said some other choice words, but, I didn't. And then, so this is when, so I wasn't able to close out the order until 9:28. Yeah, that's when I finally was able to. I was back in my home zone and and then I, sent that picture. And the message to the customer, closed out the order. Now what I wanted to do, and I don't know, maybe this was a mistake and a waste of time, but now I wanted to contact Doordash support and have them notate my account or notate this order, so that I'm covered in case I get a negative review off of this contract violation for it being extremely late. So I thought I'd get with Doordash support. I didn't come back home to do all this. I went to Panera, and just kind of like stood outside the Panera and tapped into their Wi-Fi so that I could do all this. So while I'm outside of Panera, I message support. Here's the first screenshot. I get an agent on there, and then these first couple messages, I explain the situation. I just wanted my account notated, my last order. I was part of the outage. I don't want a negative review or contract violation. Third message, the order was delivered after I came home to get manual directions. I delivered the order, couldn't close it out till I come back to zone. Okay. Then just a bunch of like unhelpful rambling from the agent. Since order has been delivered, you can go for the next order. Hello? I sent a message. I said, I cannot. Nationwide outages. That's why I'm messaging you. I can't do another. I couldn't even... Technically, the way it's supposed to be done, I couldn't do the previous order at all. Force close your app. The agent says force close your app and clear it from recent used app and relaunch it. Earth to Doordash support. Hello, Earth to Doordash support. There's an outage. It's not the app. There's an outage. I don't have cellular phone service. And I said that in the next minute. There's an outage! Exclamations. AT&T users. Oh. And then 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 the agent says, as checked, your order has been marked delivered. Well, of course, I know that. I closed out the delivery and delivered it in the app and got that done and settled before I connected to you. And then it says you can wait till the outage is resolved. Well, yeah, I understand that too, but that's not why I don't want a dash right now. I want my account notated. Thank you for contacting DoorDash support, and then just immediately hangs up on me. So there you go. A customer who seemed considerate at first and then was inconsiderate, and then DoorDash support just not even bothering whatsoever to understand, what I was trying to accomplish and didn't care at all. So, so that is the story, and I'm sticking to it. For that's how I handled this nightmare of an order during a power outage. That's one bad thing about doing this line of work. If events like this happen, I mean, you're basically just screwed. I mean, the whole entire job depends on the ability to use your cell phone and have service and everything. Otherwise, it's like if you want to do your job as an airplane pilot, you don't have a plane to fly. Well, I mean, you got if you're a pilot, you got to have a plane to fly it. Otherwise, So that's a bad thing about this job. But anyway, that is it for this video, and I got through this situation, and that's enough excitement for one day, and I just went ahead and called it a day after that, and lived to see another day dashing here. Thanks for watching this video. Drive safe out there, and I hope your phone works for your dash. Take care. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Check out my other videos. A lot of good stuff, a lot of information for all things DoorDash. And we will see you at the next video. Thanks again for watching.